Yo, 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 it's Joe from Photos with Phones. Tonight, we're here to talk about B-roll. Specifically, what is B-roll and can you capture it on your smartphone? So, to start out, B-roll is the antithesis of A-roll. A-roll is what I'm doing right now. It's the whole topic of everything that this channel is about. If it's a movie, that is dialogue. So if you think about both of those things, B-roll is like the parts in the middle that are not dialogue that kind of wrap everything together. For an example of B-roll, and to prove that you can do it on a smartphone, check this out. So, you watched that video and you were impressed. Now, let's learn how to capture B-roll on a smartphone. Tonight, my fiance has been bothering me to watch a Halloween movie with her, so I decided it would be a great opportunity to make a Halloween-inspired cocktail and do like a little themed B-roll shoot for you. So, that's what we're gonna do. Now, when I show you how to capture B-roll on your smartphone, you're going to see me using something that is not the native iPhone camera app. I'm using the Moment Pro camera app that I just downloaded to compare it with Beastcam Pro camera app, which we did a review on. Check that out. And I just wanted to use it for this shoot because it, unlike Beastcam, allows me to capture content in the RAW, we also did a video on capturing photos in the RAW. Log is the video equivalent of RAW files. If you're interested in the RAW, check that out too. I'm not shamelessly trying to plug here, that just came up. But I'm using the Moment Pro camera app. All of the philosophies and rules that I'm using still apply. So yeah, let us know in the comments if you would like to see the Beastcam Pro camera app compared to the Moment Pro camera app. Yeah. So we're learning smartphone B-roll. First thing to think about is you have the props that are going to be in your video, you have the lenses that are available to you, and then you have the frame rates that are available to you. So here you can see, looking at the shot list, I have taken all of those things into consideration. I have what is going to be the prop or the focus of the video. I have the lens or the focal length that's going to be used. I have the frame rate that it's going to be shot at. And that makes shooting a breeze, and it's going to make the overall cohesiveness of your video better. Now we'll move on to the editing process. I'm not going to go in depth by any means here, but I'm just going to go through my storyline to kind of show you the general idea behind what it is that I'm doing. So you'll see lots of those little green boxes. Those are sound effects that are adding something to the video in addition to the music that is there. On the music, you can see that I have added little purple things. Those are marks that are made with the beat to help with editing. Now we'll move on to tips for actually shooting the B-roll. First thing worth noticing is that I'm starting out from behind the table so that I can do something that's called a speed ramp. It essentially is just, I'm going to make the first part of the video super fast, and it helps to transition the viewer out of the freezer and into the setting that the majority of the video is going to take place in. This is another sort of transition. It's like a reveal, and in the actual B-roll sequence, you kind of have the me going into the ice cream and then coming back away. And you can just kind of see how that happens here while it's being captured. But then, as I kind of explained earlier, it's the editing and the sound effects that kind of make the magic happen. With the Baileys for this shot, I tried to focus on keeping the subject of the shot, or the Baileys logo, on the rule of thirds horizontal. A nifty B-roll technique to do is to compound camera movement with subject movement. So in this case, you open the Oreo package and you follow that movement with the camera into the Baileys, which is another subject of the shot. When you're shooting B-roll, for the most part, you're shooting B-roll with somebody else. It's always important to articulate and be clear about what it is that you're going to do and how it is that you expect for the subject of your video to be the subject. So in this instance, I'm talking to Catherine about how I'm going to pan under her crumpling up the Oreos, and then I'm going to drop my phone on the table, at which point she will sprinkle the Oreos on top. I just thought it was an interesting shot in the sequence. Let me know what you thought about it down below. Doesn't Jasmine look super interested in what's going on? Tune in to find out if she gets a snack. So this part of the video I tried to shoot in slow motion at 120 and 240 frames per second. Unfortunately, because I was shooting in lower light for the mood, I wasn't able to do the old trusty filmmaking rule, which is to double your frame rate as far as your shutter speed goes. So if I was shooting at 240 frames per second, I needed my shutter speed to be 1/480, which made everything just super dark. So I was only able to shoot this at 60 frames per second. I still like the edit that I created with the twirling and the switching between the condiments, but just let me know what you think about it down there in the comments. So you can see in every one of these little shots that I've done for the ingredients in the drink, I'm kind of panning over top of the glass, kind of like a drone shot. And that's because in my shot plan, I had this as a transition. It didn't really turn out in post, but that's okay. As long as you make these efforts to capture these things, then some of them are going to turn out well, and that's what it's all about. It's also about getting to drink awesome little drinks, just like this one. Can't you tell that Joe thinks it's pretty good? That's all we got for you. See you in the next one. Toodles.